In the opening chapter of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, the stage is set for the social drama that will unfold throughout the novel. The famous opening line, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife," immediately introduces the central theme of marriage and the societal expectations surrounding it. The Bennet family, residing in the village of Longbourn, is introduced, with Mrs. Bennet expressing her excitement over the arrival of Mr. Bingley, a wealthy bachelor, to the neighboring estate of Netherfield Park. She sees him as a potential suitor for one of her 5 daughters, thus highlighting her primary concern, securing advantageous marriages for them. Mr. Bennet, in contrast to his wife's frantic matchmaking, displays a more sardonic and detached attitude. He teases Mrs. Bennet about her obsession with marrying off their daughters, revealing his amusement at her expense and setting the tone for his character as a witty, but somewhat passive, observer of his family's antics. This dynamic between Mr. and Mrs. Bennet not only provides comic relief, but also underscores the differing perspectives on marriage and social mobility within the family. The chapter effectively establishes the social context of the story, where marriage is not just a romantic union but a crucial means of securing social and financial stability, particularly for women. The introduction of Mr. Bingley as a wealthy and eligible bachelor immediately creates a sense of anticipation and competition among the local families, especially the Bennets. Mrs. Bennet's character is depicted as frivolous and mercenary, concerned more with the financial prospects of her daughters' marriages than with their personal happiness. Austen's use of irony and satire is evident in this first chapter, as she critiques the social norms of her time. The exaggerated reactions of Mrs. Bennet and the calm detachment of Mr. Bennet serve to highlight the absurdity of placing such importance on marriage based solely on wealth and social standing. This sharp social commentary sets the tone for the novel's exploration of the various motivations and consequences of marriage. In conclusion, the first chapter of Pride and Prejudice efficiently introduces the main characters and themes, setting the stage for the complex interplay of relationships and social expectations that will unfold. The contrasting attitudes of Mr. and Mrs. Bennet towards marriage and the arrival of Mr. Bingley provide both humor and insight into the societal pressures of the Regency era. Through her keen observations and wit, Austen begins her critique of the rigid class structures and the often superficial nature of the marriage market, themes that will be intricately developed throughout the novel.